Hey, beautiful souls. It is Marcy Stockton here of Marcy Stockton Wellness. I am an intuitive life coach and spiritual guide, and I empower beautiful souls to transform excess stress into inner bliss. So happy that you are here with me today. I just have a quick share about a session I had with a client yesterday, and I was running her bars, access consciousness bars. And if you're not familiar with what the bars are, I will post a link down below, or you can get in touch with me to find out more. It's also a description on my website. But access bars is the most phenomenal relaxation, stress relief technique that you have probably never heard of. At the end of a session, it will either feel like you've just had the most phenomenal massage of your life, and worst case scenario, your whole life can change because it actually changes your brain. It changes our thought patterns. It creates neuroplasticity. It supports us in creating new habits that stick. It changes our limiting beliefs and unprocessed emotions, helps release them. It's so many things. It brings us back into balance, back into homeostasis, reduces inflammation. I mean, just so many things. So one of my clients who has signed up for a 6-month coaching container, I was running her bars yesterday. And what can happen is when I'm touching the different bars points, they correlate to different areas of her life where we store information, where we hold these thought patterns, these limiting beliefs, these points of views that kind of keep us stuck and limited in different areas of our life. So last night I was on the bars points: kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm. So those are 3 different bars points that I had my fingers on just behind the ear of my client. And as I was running the bars, my heart started to hurt. And my body gives me intuitive awarenesses, intuitive nudges, intuitive guidance when I am working with my clients, if there is something there to be explored. So when my heart started to hurt, I got the awareness to ask my client how she's been doing with practicing loving kindness, self-compassion, and getting out of judgment to herself. And admittedly, that is still something that she is struggling with. But as we really kind of looked into this as to where is this self-judgment rooted? Why does she struggle with really being kind to herself and practicing self-love and self-compassion just feel very foreign to her, and like there's a roadblock from her actually choosing that? So I just, through and in these sessions, no one is required to talk about anything if they do not want to go there. Some of my clients just want to totally peace out and relax the whole time, but some of my clients really want to create the greatest transformation in the shortest time frame. Often, if we pull up through conversation, the energy of things, it will lead us to greater breakthroughs and information that is lingering in the background of the subconscious, unconscious mind, that is like a tape playing on repeat, that is guiding their life today, that is creating a potential roadblock, a blind spot, a block, or a barrier. And oftentimes my clients really would like to release those things so that they can transcend and move beyond to the next level of their life and just choose something greater. So what came up is a conversation around my client's mother. And she got the awareness, and this is something that we have chatted about in the past. It was just we were able to kind of like shift the energy in a different way and maybe look at it through a new lens, a new light, which is what I love about connecting with my clients in this way and running their bars. But the awareness that she got is when she was younger, it was she never recalled her mom being proud of her or acknowledging her. But what she did recall is that her mom was always saying how other people's children were good children, and how, boosting them up and talking about them, but never really just acknowledging my client and celebrating her, or saying things like, "I'm so proud of you, good job." Like my client never really heard that from her mother. And it was weird that she would brag and boast about other people, but not about her own daughter. And I'm just curious about how many of you can relate to that and how painful that could be to the small child within, never really hearing those words like, I'm proud of you, good job, any of those things. And so what that can do is, and it's not necessarily that her mom wasn't proud of her or that her mom didn't love her or that she didn't think she was a good girl. I mean, it's possible, but oftentimes it's the meaning that we as children give to the experiences, give to the events, or give meaning to the environment that is like curated around us. And so, with the meaning essentially that my client gave to this going on in her environment and the way that her mother was with her is that she was not good enough. And when you do not feel good enough, and that is a program that is running in the background of your subconscious, unconscious mind. And even if it happened when you were a small child, if that program goes unchecked, it will show up in your adult life as potentially people pleasing. It can show up as taking everything personally. It can show up as not being able to prioritize your own well being, because a person who doesn't feel good enough really, really struggles with making themselves a priority. There's many different ways that this tape, this program playing in the background of the subconscious mind, can show up in our adult lives today. So, as we were looking at this together, I started to run some clearing statements to pull up the energy and to release it from our energetic field. And the gift of that is once we release it from your energetic field, the client then it basically opens the door to infinite possibilities to become available to her, because that one limiting belief is no longer going to be playing on repeat in the background and guiding her choices and actions and behaviors as the adult version of her today. Something different, a totally different possibility can now show up for her. And so that's really beautiful, isn't it? The other awareness that we got is like, yeah, just curious about like what would be so challenging? Why would her mom find it so challenging to praise her own child and find it more ease to praise other people's children? And there was a couple different awarenesses there. One is that my client was made to feel that she was not allowed to brag or boast or be celebrated because that just wasn't an acceptable thing they did in their family. So imagine never feeling celebrated, never feeling like you could actually acknowledge things that you did that were worth celebrating. So that can again kind of like create this tape in our background that I'm not worth celebrating, I'm not worth honoring, I'm not worth acknowledging. So it's that deep-seated sense of unworthiness again, kind of lingering in the background, and how that could show up in different ways in our adult life today. So there was that, but then the other awareness that we got is her mom never felt good enough. Her mom always felt like the sibling who didn't have any gifts, didn't have any talents, didn't know her own worth, felt like the other siblings were always could do things better than her. So she just had this underlying seed of resentment and jealousy and shame. I'm never feeling good enough, never measuring up. So what ended up happening is she projected her own unworthiness onto her own child. Whether this was consciously or unconsciously, it happens. And many people today are going through their life feeling unworthy or not enough based on these past experiences that happened in our childhood. So what I would like, to just really wrap it up and bring it home is and finish off this conversation is when I'm running the bars, it's so interesting how kindness and self-kindness came up while I was running my clients' bars, while I was touching those bars points, and we were able to, within moments, get to the root of where her struggles and challenges started to practice self-love and kindness and compassion and get out of judgment of herself today. So as we clear those energies, as we acknowledge those points of views, as we acknowledged and actually did some healing work with the inner child, a totally new possibility and a totally new reality is going to become possible to my client because she was willing to show up for herself, willing to do the work, even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's challenging, even though it can be hard. Change happens when we show up for ourselves and we take some sort of inspired action. So that I think is where I'm going to leave it today, guys. I just wanted to let you know that so many possibilities become available to you when you dive in and do this work, whether it's with the access bars, whether it's the subconscious imprinting technique that I use with my clients, or through the intuitive coaching. There are possibilities, endless possibilities, whether we meet up in person or we meet up over Zoom. Change and transformation is possible. And when you start to clear this energy, when you start to restructure your beliefs and your thought patterns and your habitual behaviors, conditioned programming, you start to clear the blind spots, the blocks, and the barriers, your life can turn into something greater than you've ever even imagined possible in a time frame that may be even shorter than you've ever imagined possible. So if you would like to learn more about what it looks like to work with me, you can book a free consultation by going to my site. I can leave a link down below, and it's just a free call. You jump on, we have a conversation, we chat about maybe what is going on in your world, where you might feel stuck or limited. I share with you about how I support my clients, and if we feel like an energetic match, if we feel like we connected on a deeper, more soulful level, and that I have offerings that could support you on your journey of transformation, then I tell you more about that. And if not, no big deal. So, what is a free call worth to you? It could be worth everything. And if it's just a few minutes out of your day and it turns into nothing, that's cool too. But I promise my clients always get something, a nugget of wisdom or some shift in the call, and it's totally free. So friends, let me leave you with this. I would love for you to just acknowledge the gift that you are, to acknowledge that you are worth celebrating, that you are born worthy. There's nothing that you have to do to be worthy. Worthiness is a state of being, and you are worthy because you be. And that is it. There's nothing we need to do to own our worth. And so when we can clear these unconscious, subconscious programs and really step into our authentic truth and boost our self-esteem and really be the confidence that we truly be and walk through the world in that way, wow, what a beautiful way that is to live. Thank you, friends. Take care. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.